Yo guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we are here at another vacant property of a current wholesale deal that I have going on that's going to net me an $11,400 assignment fee, which is super amazing. And this deal was a little bit interesting. I had to do a cash for keys agreement, so the deal got a little more complex. And so that's why today I'm here to break down the deal for you guys. So let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so this property is an amazing rental because it's across the street from ASU Mesa. This property is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 2,000 square feet of living square footage. So it's a super nice, big, spacious property, and it's got 2 bathrooms, so that makes it a good rental property. That being said, the seller, they wanted to put their money into something else. They don't live in Arizona, but they wanted to liquidate their asset of this rental property and sell it for cash to make it an easy sale, and that's where I got them, providing them with an easy sale. Okay, so we worked out the details with the seller, and I got the property under contract for $261. I believe they wanted $275 originally, and I was able to negotiate and bring them all the way down to $261, since I was going to have to figure out how to get the tenants out or keep the tenants. And that's what I did. I negotiated. I got them down to $261. The next thing that I did was go here, take pictures of the property, right? And I met the tenants, and I had a great conversation with the tenants to kind of understand their situation in life, what they're going through, what their income looks like, what their credit score looks like. And I actually passed them to my buddy that works at Movement Mortgage to try to get them a loan so they could purchase a house, because the tenants expressed to me that every time they get to about 2-3 years living in a rental, they want to purchase the property, and every time an investor comes in and buys the property, and they feel like they're thrown out on the streets. So that's what I tried to do. I tried to help them get a loan to purchase this house, and I was going to assign it to them. I was going to assign it to the tenant. But unfortunately, they didn't qualify for conventional financing. They would have had to go FHA. And for an FHA loan to close, it takes about 90 days. And they also didn't have a good enough credit score to get approved right away. They had to go to the credit repair department and get all that sorted out as well. So unfortunately, we were not able to sell this property to the tenants, and it wasn't a dramatic win-win situation with all 3 parties, right? Being me, the investor, the seller, and the tenant. It wasn't a complete win-win, unfortunately. It was a win-win between me and the seller, but with the tenants, unfortunately, it wasn't that big of a win for them. But I offered them $2,600 in cash for keys. They agreed to take it. I gave them over 30 days to move out, and they actually moved out in 2 weeks. I delivered them the $2,600 cash for keys, and now I got the property vacant. And something to note that's so important when you're wholesaling real estate is to understand that every wholesale deal is worth more vacant. So if you can get the property vacant, whatever it takes to get vacant, you'll make more money, as long as you're not, over leveraging yourself with your cash for keys agreement. But a vacant property is worth more than a rented property, even if the rents are good, anything like that, because most flippers want to come in, most buy and hold investors want to come in, upgrade the place, and get the maximum rents in the area. So always try to get your properties vacant if you can. Most of the time you can sell a deal with tenants in it, but you need to calculate that as a loss on your assignment fee, because you won't be able to sell for the same price with as a vacant property when it's occupied. You got to have a discount. And so sometimes you feel like, oh, this deal's a $30,000 assignment fee, but you have to sell it with the tenants, and it becomes like a $5,000, $10,000 assignment fee, and that's just the name of the game. So that being said, if you can get the tenants out, do anything you can to do that. If you have any questions about how cash for keys agreements work, comment down below. Also, on my website, jacobblank.com, you're able to get a free purchase agreement, a free assignment agreement, and a free script. And I will actually throw on there a free cash for keys agreement. That way, if you guys run into a situation like this, you have all the tools you need in your tool belt in order to get the tenants out successfully and sell your property for more. Now, one more tip about doing cash for keys. You do not sign a cash for keys agreement with the tenant, and do not deliver them their money till you have an assignment signed with a good buyer. You need to make sure that you have the deal sold and that it's going to close, and you're 90% sure that the buyer is going to perform, because otherwise you're dishing out thousands of dollars to these tenants and signing an agreement that possibly you can't perform on if the deal falls through. Also, when you do a cash for keys agreement, you want to make sure that the sellers sign on that cash for keys agreement as well. That way, say you do pay the tenants, and then all of a sudden the seller wants to back out of the deal. The seller says, I'm not signing for closing, I don't want to sell anymore. You have their acknowledgement on the cash for keys agreement. That way you can go after them to reimburse you for the money that you gave to their tenants. So that's very important too. Take notes of those two things. Also, something else that's important is you don't want to leave a seller, right? Say you have to cancel the deal because you weren't able to assign it and you had the tenants move out. You don't want to leave the seller with their mortgage payment and no tenants. You know, you don't want to leave the seller having to go search for tenants. So that's another reason why you want to make sure you have the deal assigned to a good buyer. You're 90% sure they are going to perform and the deal is going to close before you do anything as far as cash for keys and getting the tenants out. But yeah, $11,400 assignment fee after cash for keys is said and done. I will net $11,400. This deal closes in a few days. Super excited to keep doing deals like this. I really do enjoy doing deals with vacant properties and getting tenants out and stuff like that, because it makes the deal either a lot easier or a lot more complicated, and it's always nice to solve problems and figure stuff out. Because in this business, if you don't like solving problems, you will never be successful. Most of this business is solving problems, and it's fun to be doing that. But yeah, this property is a decently nice property. It is outdated, but it was well maintained. They were great tenants, super nice people. So yeah, I mean, you could even come in here and barely do anything and just rent the property as is, just like it is. I'm sure whoever is buying it though is going to do a full gut remodel. But yeah, it's been amazing to do this deal. I'm going to do many more deals like this and break them down for you guys to explain more in depth. And you know, if you are confused by what cash for keys means or anything like that, comment down below. But basically, one more time, cash for keys means I'm basically giving cash to the tenant for the keys to the property and for them to sweep it clean, right? And you always got to put things that involve money and real estate in writing. So if you're ever doing that, do not do cash for keys with tenants by word of mouth. Do not. But anyways, let me pick up the camera right now and walk you around the property and show you what it looks like. So let's get into the walkthrough of the property. Alright guys, so let's check out the property. Okay, it's a pretty nice property overall, but it is not by any means modern, and it could use a ton of updating. As you can see, right when you walk in, we got mix match flooring, which is never a good thing. Okay, we got popcorn ceilings, so that's gotta go. Okay, we got our first bedroom over here. Okay, our first bathroom. You know, not as gross as what we're used to, right? Not as bad of a property, but definitely is super outdated. That is for sure, okay? So, all right. Here's the master bedroom. Got some nice sliding doors out to the pool, so that's decent. We come over here in the master bathroom. It's pretty weird. The shower floor tile goes throughout the whole floor in there. Pretty weird, okay? But overall, not as nasty of a property as we're used to, you know, so technically you could do pretty well and get pretty good rents just leaving it as is. But as you can see, they painted the cabinets white here in the kitchen, but these are the super old cabinets. So when you're doing a flip and you think you can just paint cabinets, sometimes you can, but when they're these type of super old cabinets, you really can't do that. You really can't. So yeah, I mean, we got a backsplash that isn't done correctly, that goes only on the back. So, you know, it's not the worst property ever, but it is definitely not the best by any means, all right? And it could use a ton of updating. All right, so we come out here, we got a nice big pool. It is a diving pool, so it's a super nice pool. We got pavers back there, so that's a nice upgrade to have, those pavers around the pool. We got a weird carport thing over here, but yeah, big backyard, nice property, you know, nothing too crazy. It's a big property, could use updating, but overall, pretty good deal for the end buyer. And then in here, just the garage. All right guys, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in for this YouTube video. I'll be continuing to post 2 YouTube videos a week, so stay tuned to learn much more about real estate, wholesaling, real estate, flipping, investing, all of that. Anything you could imagine under the sun of being an entrepreneur, I will be posting about on this YouTube channel. And if you want free material, yes, free stuff for you to get started in real estate, please go to jacobblank.com, and that's where you will be able to download free scripts, free contracts, all of that, because I want to give it away for free so you guys can start getting into this game. And other than that, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.